Mark Tilley and welcome back to Dirt Bike Magazine's video series Premix, where it's all two-strokes all the time. Today we're getting a chance to look at a one-off custom-built motorcycle that we got a little bit of a history with. In this version, it's the SLR Honda CR500 that Mark Samuels, who owns SLR and runs the SLR team, got to race at this year's Mammoth Mountain Motocross. Now, this motorcycle has a little bit of history with us, and it's kind of interesting on how small our industry is because everything has a backstory. This motorcycle, myself, Mark Tilley, and Travis Fant went up to Idaho and shot it with our good buddy Pete Treadwell that works at Western Power Sports. We got there, found out that it was a bike built by Pro Circuit back in the day around the end of 2005, beginning of 2006. It's a 2006 CR250 two-stroke chassis with a basically factory built Honda CR500 engine in it. Factory down to the point to where this thing doesn't have case numbers engraved on the cases. It has a little sticker that says what the number is. Kind of looking at it, you look at this bike and go, wow, those Pro Circuit engine covers, the ignition and the clutch, you can't get those anymore. And if you did get them, you would probably pay an arm and a leg for. Jason Thomas got to ride it around the track that's actually located at Western Power Sports facility in Boise, Idaho. It scared him. He didn't want to ride it for very long. Personally, I didn't want to ride it. Pete Treadwell is a burly guy. He didn't think it had enough hit. So fast forward 7 years later, we see this bike show up at Mammoth, go, man, that thing is awesome. Let's do something with it. Started asking questions about it. Chris Hymas, Chance Hymas is the Honda amateur kid now, owns a Honda dealership in Idaho. He is now the owner of the motorcycle. He traded Pete Treadwell out for some stuff and he owns the motorcycle. Did some minor changes to it, not very much. Suspension was redone for Mark Samuels to race at Mammoth. He put a billet front brake caliper on and then some rubber mounted bar mounts off of a newer Honda, and Mark went out and rode it. I got to ride it in the video. With just those changes, I absolutely love this motorcycle. So we go and do a little bit more research on it, drop by Pro Circuit, talk to Mitch Payton about it. He kind of had some vague stuff on it. Then I start talking to Chris Hymas. He tells me where he got it from our old buddy Pete Treadwell. Comes full circle. So it's kind of interesting on how bikes move around. You never know a bike that we shot 15 years ago, if we're gonna shoot it 15 years later, and you might have a completely different opinion of the motorcycle. And it also shows some minor changes can make some major differences on overall how the bike feels. So a little bit of information about this motorcycle. It takes the 500 aluminum frame conversion, a little bit different twist on it to where this is a 2006 Honda CR250 two-stroke frame. At the time it was called Service Honda, now it's called Built 500. AJ did the frame modifications and then they filled the frame with some kind of epoxy to kind of reduce the overall vibrations. Factory CR500 engine. A lot of the stuff on this engine, talking with Mitch Payton, he says it belongs in a museum because there's a lot of stuff that you cannot get that is inside this engine now. around. Like I said, this bike was a blast to ride. We did a little bit of testing with it back to back with the 2023 Honda CR450R. You might be interesting to hear what we found out between the two. As a matter of fact, you might want to look for a little bit of a versus video coming out a little bit later on our YouTube channel. There will be a full write-up and in an upcoming issue of Dirt Bike Magazine's printed issue, and it'll probably make it onto our website in the behind the builds feature as well. We love builds like this that have a backstory and have maybe some sentimental reasons to some people. So if you got a build that you think has a really good backstory, throw a comment in the comment section and let everybody see it. You never know, it might end up in the pages of Dirt Bike Magazine. If you want to see some more cool big bore Honda two-stroke footage, check out a couple of our Carson Brown projects. We did a CR480 with him and a CR500. The stuff that he can do on the bike is absolutely insane. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button because we have brand new videos coming out all the time and you don't want to miss them.